atheist nation,
Oh,
the atheist family, not not an Arab.
so you hate Israel?
I mean, hate. I mean, I don't go that far, I guess, but I'm anti-Israel. Yeah,
Do you hate Jews?
Jews. I mean, I don't care about the religion. I don't even. I personally don't think it's a religious conflict either. I think it's
So,
just. Yeah, I think it's basically a conflict of Western interests and
oh,
cultural and racial chauvinism and so on.
are you a communist?
I'm not a communist, but I mean, I like businesses and entrepreneurship, but I do have a positive opinion of communists for sure.
Hmm. Would you say
But when
that?
I say communists, I mean real communists. I'm not talking about some retard, pot smokers. I'm talking about, you know, Eastern European Soviets and so on. I mean, I'm from Eastern Europe, so that's the thing.
Hmm. Would you say that because you're a communist, you hate Israel? Could that be related?
Well, first of all, I'm not a communist, and also I don't think communists really hated Israel. Like when Israel started, all of the communist powers were supporting it, including Stalin. It's just that when the Israelis started like becoming like pro-Western and liberal and so on, that's when like the communist powers started were like propping up these different progressive and leftist movements within the Arabic world. So, but I don't definitely agree that they were inherently anti Israel or anti Jews. That's that's basically obfuscation. If anything, it was the Western powers that propped up Hitler. For example, Henry Ford was spreading the protocols of design on other anti-Jewish propaganda.
Wait, what do you? So, okay, so why do you hate Israel?
Um, well, because they're engaging in a genocide against the native population.
Okay, but that's so you only started hating Israel like since the genocide? Like,
I mean, I became anti-Israel as early as I remember, just reading about like the apartheid state, and so on. So that was probably
mhm.
2008, nine, so
So
16 years ago.
that's before the genocide.
Yeah, we could say this was like the like first step of the ethnic cleansing, or maybe not even the first step because there were things happening before, but I wasn't aware of them.
So you started hating Israel before the genocide. So it's not the genocide you're saying, it's because of the apartheid. You hate Israel because of the apartheid.
Bro, I'm anti-West. Period.
Oh,
Israel
you're
is a
anti.
Western fucking colony. Yeah, I'm Western, anti-West, anti-US, anti-fucking NATO. Okay, I'm pro-Russia,
Oh,
pro. So
wait, why are you
I'm
anti-West?
pro-Putin. That's the whole thing.
Oh, okay.
It's not about
S-
Israel. Israel is not the center point of the world. They're just like one part of the Western hegemony.
So you're pro-Putin, but you're not Christian. So why are you pro-Putin?
Why? Because I think he's a first of all, I think he's a pretty good leader regarding the regarding how regarding Russia's recovery. When he took over, Russia was in total chaos, and he's done a lot to help his country. And I also think that in the current world, Russia is on the defensive. I don't think that the attack on Ukraine is some sort of an aggressive. I mean, I guess it is an aggressive move, but it's an aggressive move within a defensive strategy, if I could put it like that.
How can you have a defensive move with a defensive strategy? Well,
And that's an aggressive move within a defensive strategy.
I don't understand. So
Putin said it in a speech. He said it if he said like ever since I was a kid, the streets of Leningrad where I grew up taught me one rule, which was that if the fight is inevitable, you gotta strike first. That's a pretty sick thing, but yeah, it's that's basically the strategy.
so Putin.
It was an inevitability, the
So
conflict.
it's inevitable. The conflict is inevitable.
between Ukraine and Russia. Yes,
Why?
Ukraine was being propped because Ukraine was being propped up to basically destroy Russia.
Destroy? Why would Ukraine want to destroy Russia?
Well, the thing is this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know that the Ukrainian like do you know that before the war started in 2022,
Mm-hmm.
the Putin state tried to like initiate some sort of a deal between the Ukrainians and the Russians, which by the way included Ukraine gaining territory, not even losing, and they still rejected it because the Ukrainians they wanted officially they wanted Crimea back, right? Which not even the Crimeans want. I mean, the Crimeans they hate Ukraine. So it was they were in a permanent state of limbo and in a basically like a cold war, and the Ukrainians were constantly breaking all the agreement, the Minsk agreement, right, which was about setting up truce and de-escalating, and they didn't want to de-escalate. And of course, they kept pushing for NATO. They were even speaking about acquiring nukes and some other crazy shit. And their entire state's ideology is about hating Russia, blaming Russia for everything, and creating some fake narrative about Russia being behind all of world's evil. So yeah, I mean, maybe Russia didn't have to attack, but it is understandable. And yeah, Russia is winning this war, and the West will have to suck it up.
So you think Ukraine wanted to destroy Russia?
Yeah,
Wh- Okay, I asked you, why would Ukraine want to destroy Russia?
because these people are insane. That's the thing. It's they're like an ISIS in Europe. There is a nation of extremists, right? That's the problem with the Ukrainians. They even said that I mean, it's a common thing. Like in Ukraine, they say all sorts of crazy shit. They said shit like, for example, it's a meme, it's a slogan in Ukraine to say that Crimea will either be Ukrainian or without people altogether. That's a slogan in Ukraine, right? Like these people are fucking crazy. They're openly pushing for reconquering Crimea. Not to mention they were blocking the water supply. Do you know that Crimea is like a semi-desert, and it was only like through modern technology, right? The Soviets they created a channel between the big river Dnieper that is like that goes into the sea just next to Crimea, and they created a channel of water that was like basically flowing from the river Dnieper into the peninsula, which basically made it really viable for agriculture. And the
Hold on.
Ukrainians cut it off, right? So
Wait, wait,
the so Crimea was
wait,
what?
hold on. So you said that the Ukrainians are crazy?
Bro, are you trolling me or what?
What you didn't? What do you mean? Am I trolling you? You said it.
You're just always asking these silly questions as if you didn't understand me.
What do you mean? As if I didn't. You. What
And
I want.
it's an extremist country. Sometimes you can have a place where people are whipped up, right, uh
Wait.
into a frenzy, right?
Hold on.
That's the
Why?
point.
Why do you think I'm trolling you? Why are you saying that? I'm curious. I'm
Yeah,
curious.
because you're always asking like, oh, so do you hate Israel? Oh, do you think the Ukrainians are crazy? You're just always asking these weird ass fucking questions. I think it's pretty clear what I'm trying to say, right? Like try to
Why are you
understand
getting?
it. And
Why are you getting upset?
no, I mean it feels like you're just trying to like I don't know clown on me or like
To do what to
I
you?
don't know.
Corner you?
You're clowning on me or what? Like you're trying to
Clowning?
like yeah, because I'm rambling here and you're just like answering me with like one sentence answers, right? Just
I don't want
weird
to.
ass
I
questions.
don't like you. As you said, you're. I wouldn't say rambling, but you are monologuing. I do have.
Yeah, because you don't have any you don't have any counterpoints. You're just like asking one sentence questions, right? To everything and anything I say.
Sure, but you are monologuing, and I don't want to be disrespectful and not let you speak freely. But like
Yeah, but I've made my points, right? And when I finished my point, like you always just answered with one question, right? You never had your own kind of input.
I don't. But okay, but okay. So all right, that's true. Yeah. I don't have any input. I'm trying to understand you. You can ask me
All right.
you can ask me questions just as much. I mean, I don't mind. I can, like, I'll answer any question, but right now I'm trying to understand your worldview. Like, you came in, said vegans are evil. We agreed on that. So our worldview converges on vegans. We both hate vegans. And then we started talking about Israel. So we seem to disagree on Israel. So I'm wondering, like, why do you hate Israel? I'm trying to understand. So you said, okay, you hate the West. Okay, that's interesting. You hate the U.S. All right, that's interesting. I love the U.S. I love the West. Okay, and I'm just trying to understand how you feel. And then you said you love Putin. Fine. I used to love Putin until not.
You are also using these like these very loaded adjectives, right? Like hate and love, right? Like I say, like yeah,
Mhm.
I'm pro Putin kind of, and I'm kind of anti West, right? But you're making it look like I love Putin and I hate the West, which is just silly, right?
That's I don't mind
I don't
if
love Putin, bro. I don't have a love for him. I don't really
I
care about the guy. What the fuck?
I when I
But I
say
think he's overall a good leader, you know.
sure, I understand. I'm not accusing you. I'm not loading. I don't want to load. I'm like, I used to support Putin against Zelensky. And then I heard Destiny explain the situation, and I decided, like, I became a little bit undecided. And then I switched, and now I think Putin is terrible and Zelensky is a hero. I used to think Zelensky is terrible and Putin is a hero. I was convinced that I was wrong and that Putin is terrible and Zelensky is very good. That's all.
So you are from India or what?
It doesn't matter where I'm from. Um, it doesn't matter. Like, I'm, you know. So I'm just wondering. I'm trying to understand you. I'm
Yeah, you're
trying.
one of these Indians like suck up to the West, right? Like you love the British Empire, and you hate the Muslims, right? You hate the Pakistanis. That's like your worldview. But at least you're not a. At least you understand that veganism is bad because
I
that's what's
don't.
destroying your country, right?
I don't.
Because in India is all fucked up as a result
But
of people being vegetarian.
I don't really hate anyone. I just think Putin is wrong. He's making a big mistake. I think Putin is, I think, very similar to Hitler. He's making the same mistakes that
Mhm.
Putin is what we call a mystic. He
It's
believes.
funny how can you get how can you get convinced by someone like Destiny? He was a total fucking moron. At least if you said like some scholar or some some dude, you said Destiny, dude. That's like the biggest idiot like out there. The guy knows
Destiny
nothing about the conflict.
Destiny is an idiot about many things, and he's smart about some things. I don't agree with Destiny on everything, but he Destiny managed to convince me to change my mind about Putin versus Zelensky. Destiny didn't change my mind about Trump. I like Trump. I like Musk. I'm a right winger. Like, I would say on many things I disagree with Destiny. On Putin, I agree with Destiny. I would say exactly 100, 90%, maybe more. I, I, he was able to convince me. On other things, I don't think he ever was able to convince me.
Did you ever listen to his old bit on the fraudulent slate of electors?
On the fraudulent slate of electors, I heard.
He went on a whole arc on that.
Mhm.
Essentially, he was outlining a plot Trump had to illegally overturn the results of the 2020 election through what was called a fraudulent slate of electors. So the way our electoral process works during the certification, you have electors who are elected from the states who go before Congress to certify their election
You,
results.
but
Trump
it's
had gotten individuals to falsely claim that Trump had won their
okay.
state,
Listen,
even though that he had not. Right?
okay. I understand what you're saying. I heard Destiny talk about it. I didn't really understand it. I don't see it as that important because I think the election was stolen from Trump. Which one was the 2020 election was stolen? Not
I think it
through,
was stolen.
I think it was stolen, but not through voting or like the voting fraud. It was stolen because the elites and the media and the deep state, everyone was working in cahoots against Trump. So if Trump would have taken people and
I would.
executed them, I would have said Trump is doing the best thing. Like literally, and
Yikes. Okay, hold on.
yeah,
No, no. So holy shit. Okay. So when you say like everyone was colluding against him, right? Like I take issue with this, right? Because you have the most viewed media source being Fox News,
hmm
which, by the way, supported Trump. Obviously, you had like various different like independent media organizations which support him. You have your Ben
it
Shapiro's and
doesn't
Ryan's
matter.
Daily Wire,
It
and you have
doesn't
your
matter.
Steven Crowder.
It
What
doesn't
doesn't
matter.
matter? I'm
No,
sorry. So wait, are we going to say that if you have disproportionate media
it
influence,
doesn't
then the
matter.
election was necessary
It
stolen?
doesn't
Is that
matter.
your claim?
It
It doesn't matter if there's a disproportionate media influence, then your claim falls apart.
well, you're asking two questions. So I you asked me it doesn't matter. The answer is correct. It doesn't matter. And about my claim falling apart, well, you didn't ask me to explain my position. So I don't see how it can fall apart. You can.
But your position is that it was stolen because there was disproportionate media influence, correct?
No.
No. Okay, then how was it stolen if not
It was
disproportionate
stolen.
media influence?
Look, it was stolen because wh- right? So the Constitution tells Trump to defend the Constitution from enemies within and without. So I feel that, the Democrats, the left, the deep state, the elites, the list goes on and on. Yes, go on. hmm What, you wanted to say something?
No, I'm sorry. It's just you're making an appeal to like the fucking elite. Like the elite obviously aligned with Trump, but carry on.
Anyway, so I feel that Trump had an obligation to defend the Constitution against these enemies. And if it meant taking people and executing them
How
with
are
it,
they enemies?
well, it doesn't matter.
And
Well,
who's the enemy?
okay,
Oh, it
well,
doesn't matter. They should just be executed. It doesn't matter. You can just say things and people not be executed.
one step at a time, I mean. So let's separate the variables. So if Trump felt that there are enemies of the Constitution, then it's his obligation to defend the Constitution and do whatever he deems necessary to defend the Constitution. That is what we elected him to do. So I think that, yeah, that these people are enemies of the Constitution.
Why? Who's an enemy of the Constitution, and for what reason? Why are the Democrats? Let's say the Democrats. Why are the Democrats an enemy of the Constitution?
I mean,
I reject that claim.
you okay? It look, it's so
This is like so weird and like vibes based. Like you can't point to something where it's like, oh, here like they're clearly in violation of like the 14th Amendment subsection
if
3.
if there is a clear violation, then that would be easy. But if it's not a clear
Oh,
violation,
but they're not violating it, so I can't point to it. I'm just gonna say that people should be murdered. Like, bro, before you like advocate for killing people or having them executed, you should probably be able to like give a reason.
so I mean, I don't think that we need a reason. I don't think there is we need,
You don't think we need a reason to kill people? Yeah, that's crazy.
if
That's crazy. You're a sociopath. You're an
It's
uneducated
enough if
sociopath.
Trump says so. If Trump says it, then
no,
it's
it's
enough of
nothing
a
to
reason.
do, no, nothing to do with Trump. Trump didn't execute anyone. I'm saying it. That's my opinion. I mean,
Yeah. Your opinion's wild and unfounded and not based in anything. Do you have an opinion that is?
I lived through the 2020 election, and I felt that
I did
what's
too, bro.
okay. So, At the end of the day,
you felt.
correct.
What was the reality? What was the reality?
What do you mean? What was the reality? The
So,
reality.
like, you felt like it was stolen. What was the reality? Was it stolen? If so, how do we know?
Right. So, like, you're asking, what we call epistemological questions. So, there's no answers
Yes.
to. Right. So, there's no answers. We don't know. So, it's not
No,
about.
I strongly believe in the constitution of knowledge. I think there is a way that we can know things, right?
No, it's about, the Constitution. The Constitution told tells the president, you've been elected to defend the Constitution against enemies without and within. If you feel there's an enemy, you need to do, you've been assigned to defend the Constitution. Do right. There's nothing more to it, really. You don't need to consult anyone. You are the final arbiter. It's up to you, the president. Right? That's the swearing. That's the oath he took. He doesn't consult with anyone. There's nothing to consult. If he feels that there's enemies, he needs to deal with them however he sees fit.
No,
I know that's in the
because when you
Constitution.
make an oath to the Constitution, you're also taking an oath to operate within the bounds of the Constitution, and the Constitution imposes various limitations. So, for example, he can't just get rid of freedom of speech because he believes there's an enemy. No, because he swore to uphold, for example, freedom of speech, right?
Okay, look, I mean, the point is,
I don't know. I mean, he didn't make this argument. Like, he didn't make the argument that, oh, this is justified because of the enemies without and within, right? His whole argument
I
was
don't
predicated
think,
on whether or not the election was stolen. He said it was stolen, right?
yeah, I'm not
But it
saying,
wasn't.
I'm not saying he said. I'm not saying that's the argument that he presented. I'm saying that's the argument that I present.
Your argument shit.
That's not an argument. All right, and there you go. Your argument is shit, and they leave. It's like, all right. Very nice. Okay.
About fighting corruption. What can you say to them to gain their trust that the money is going towards this fight for freedom, towards the war effort? In most cases, we did not receive money, we received weapons. And where we saw risks that something could be a weapon, we would slap everyone on the wrist. And believe me, this is not only about Ukraine. On the supply.
This is a mistranslation. Somebody looked into it. The AI should not have mistranslated. They looked at the original transcript. There's no way the AI offered slap on the wrist as the translation. So something is wrong with this translation with the slap on the wrist. I don't know. Maybe Lex himself manipulated the translation.
This is a better question. These are propaganda points that are being brought up. It's good now.
Chain.
I hate the general paradigm of this conversation.
Everywhere. There are some or other people and companies who want to make money because everyone makes money.
It's all about Zelensky is corrupt. Zelensky is the enemy of Ukraine.
Money on the war. We did not profit from the war. If we found someone, believe me, we slapped everyone on the wrist. And we did that. We did that. And we will continue to do so because to this day, when someone says that Ukraine was selling weapons and
Preach. Well, doesn't Elon Musk occupy an important position as an advisor in Trump admin? Whether you like him or not, he has become important politically.
By the way, Russia was the one pushing this narrative. We always responded. Our soldiers would kill such people with their own hands without any trial. Do you honestly think
it's not slap on the wrist, it's smack the hands with the stick? Okay. Doesn't Elon Musk occupy an important position as an advisor in Trump's administration? Whether you like him or not, he's being important politically. But yeah, but glazing him here unnecessarily serves no purpose. There's no reason to even say that here. And there's no reason for him to have a position on the incoming American administration. It's just inappropriate for the purposes of this interview. Unless you want to present, at least when you, or at the very least, you know what, honestly, I'd be happy with these guys if you could at least just please just drop the bullshit centrist act. And just, if you just present yourselves as like full MAGA, just do that. And I would at least be a little bit better with it. But the whole center has been so fucking corrupted by all of these Trump.
This has nothing to do with MAGA or with Trump. This has to do with Putin's propaganda.
Cocksuckers who are just so relentlessly, I'm just like, I'm in the middle, man. I'm just like independent. Oh, really? How many middle and independent people said that they supported fucking Kamala or Biden? Zero. The fuck? Just like own it.
anyone could steal weapons by the truckload when we ourselves don't have enough on the front lines? And yet we have to provide proof to defend ourselves. Because when there's an
I'm not mad at you, Abba. Sorry.
abundance of such misinformation, distrust starts to grow. And you're right, people listen to various media outlets, see this, and lose faith in you. in the end, you lose trust. And with it, you lose support. Therefore, believe me, we are fighting more against disinformation than against particular cases. Although I still emphasize once again, at the everyday level, such things are still important. We catch these people and we fight them. I mentioned Elon Musk. I would be interested to hear what you think of him. Why
Yeah. What's going on?
And my brain rotted for thinking Lex is not doing a good job, but I'm not seeing the MAGA malice that Destiny seems to be seeing in his questions. I think it might be kind of dumb. It's kind of dumb when you make mistakes and you fuck up 50-50 chance on each question. But when you consistently just happen to not know and you're making the same mistake and you always are favoring one side over and over and over and over and over and over again, it's not a mistake at that point. It's just propaganda and it's intentional.
I wouldn't say it's intentional. I would say Lex is a dummy dum dum. I don't know. To assign malice where you can assign stupidity. So assign stupidity. Why assign malice? Malice is so complicated.
you respect him as a person, as an engineer, as an innovator, as a businessman? I would just like to hear from you. What do you think about Elon Musk? First of all, I had a conversation with him at the beginning of the war. I talked with him. I respect him, first and foremost. I respect a self-made man, right? In English, I love such people. You know, no one and nothing fell into their lap, but the man did something, did it all himself. I worked myself, created a big production company. And I know what it means to make money, to select talented people, to impart knowledge to them, to invest money, and to create something important for certain people, you know. And I'm not comparing myself to Musk. He just, well.
Abba and Preach. Maybe I'm unaware, but Destiny, I feel like you've said that MAGA isn't representative of conservative values. We are in the age anti-establishment. Centrists identify with Trump, but not the right.
The man is a great leader of innovations in the world. And I believe that such people move the world forward. Therefore, I respect the result of his work. And we see this result. And for me, it has always been important that your result can be used, that these are not words.
Hello.
Veganism is the only correct path.
You're a vegan?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you believe in God?
No, I don't believe in God. Hello, Lucas11.
Who are you? Why are you to deny the creator of the world?
Oh, you wait, Pseudo, you believe in God?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So because you believe in God, you're a vegan?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So if I...
God told us not to hurt his creation.
Mm-hmm. Why do you care if you hurt his creation? Like, why should I care?
Because God will get angry and punish you.
Why should I care if he gets angry and punishes me?
Because if you don't care, you'll be punished.
I don't like being threatened, you know. I don't like it. Usually when people threaten me, I give them the finger. Like, I'll do whatever I want. Don't threaten me. You can ask me nicely. If you make threats, then we're not friends.
Bro, literally every country in the world is built upon threats of violence by the government.
Okay.
So threats are necessary to keep the society functioning.
Okay, but you know, like if I can, right? But if I mean, as long as a society, look, society is like democratic, and it makes sense. Like, we don't murder each other. That makes sense. If the laws become tyrannical, as you know, as the Declaration of Independence of the United States says, like, if the government becomes tyrannical, then it's the responsibility of the people to revolt and replace the government. So as long as so if God starts making threats, I don't like it. Like, as long as I live in America, and the laws make sense. As long as the laws make sense, it's fine. If the laws stop making sense, then we need to replace the government. So if God doesn't make any sense, we replace him. If God tells me to do something that doesn't make any sense, that I don't care. Why should I care? Anyway.
God
Mhm.
is elected
I
through
did.
the laws of logic and reason.
I didn't elect God, and
Well, he's not elected. He's elected by the universe. Every living being in the universe elects the perfect laws of God.
God is like a dictator. I don't like dictators.
God is not a dictator.
Okay.
God even respects the separation of powers.
Look, I don't like being threatened. I don't like being threatened with
He's not
severe.
threatening you.
Okay, then
He's telling you for your best interest.
that's like it sounds like a threat to me. So I don't
No,
like.
okay, listen.
Mm.
God doesn't have the ability to make it otherwise.
Well, that's his problem, not my problem. I don't care. I don't care about God. God can,
So
jump.
you're okay with killing a bunch of animals, like murdering, slaughtering, torturing them.
It's called the cycle of life. We don't have much of a choice. If I want to live, I'm part of this cycle. I can, feed myself to the alligators, but why are the alligators better than me?
No, you don't have to feed yourself to the alligators to be a vegan.
No, I'm saying I'm part of the cycle of life. Right now I'm eating the chickens, then I die, and later I'll become food for the animals. I'll get recycled. Everything gets recycled. I'm fine with being recycled. Sometimes,
But you're
look,
not killed in the middle of your life.
okay.
Okay, killing animals for eating them is unethical.
Says who?
Unless you're starving, there's no justification for it.
Okay,
Yeah, but that's subjective. It's not.
who makes
It's
up
very
What?
subjective.
who makes up the rules, like what's ethical? Rabbi Ariana Grande. 1 second.
The
So
fuck?
pseudo
Yeah. So
pseudo. So who says what's ethical? Who is the decider of what's ethical? Hello, Nectar. Who
the
decides what's.
holy,
Mhm.
the holy parliament of God,
Okay,
the
so
lawgiver,
yeah, but how do you
the
know?
legislator.
Okay, but how do you know? Right, what God told you? How do you know? Who told you?
Um,
Who told you what's
that's
ethical?
that's how. Okay, society. Okay, not society. Sorry.
Hmm.
Um, we can observe the laws of nature and infer from that laws
Okay,
of
but that's
ethics.
you. Fine, that's you. So you do you. You do whatever you feel like. I don't see that. I don't see ethical. I don't see ethics. I walk around. I don't see ethics. I see. I'm a scientist. I've never seen ethics run around and jumping around.
I'm a scientist too, but
What?
I think you're just limiting your scope as a scientist. I think you're a limited scientist.
Well, as
Basically
I
called you ignorant.
as I said, I've never seen
No,
ethics.
no, I didn't call you into ignorant. Why are you trying to stir shit up?
Wait, what?
I'm just saying you
Okay.
basically said that.
Look,
I
I've never.
called him
Okay. It's
simple.
between me and
Okay,
you.
not ignorant.
It's pseudo. It's between me and you. So I told you I've never seen ethics running around. So as far as I'm concerned, there's no ethics in this universe. That's it. So
There are ethics. There
okay,
are
I've
ethics.
never seen
Like
them. That's like saying, right? I could also say I've never seen God. So as far as I'm concerned, there's no God. There's no ethics.
there is a God.
I've
Like
never
what are
seen it.
you on?
Okay, I've never seen it.
What are
Never seen God. So when God decides to pop into my Discord, I'll talk to him. We'll see what he got. For now, there's no God.
okay?
Right? You show up in my
God
Discord. What? Go ahead.
God's a reality. Like you should accept it.
Not to me. I told you. Like God wants to come to the Discord, we'll talk. He never comes to the Discord. He never
God
shows.
is
Never seen
God
God.
lies at the essence of scientific thinking.
I never seen him. Okay. If he's outside of scientific thinking, then he's outside of my
No,
thinking.
no, he is inside of scientific thinking. He's part of scientific thinking.
Okay, so then if he's part of science, then he needs to show up, right? Right? Show up.
He already shows up, but you're blind, I think.
Well,
Oh shit.
well, the fact is that I've never seen God. So even when I see God, all I am willing to do is have a conversation with him. If he makes threats, then I leave the conversation. So no threats. He can
Okay,
try.
God is not threatening you.
That's fine.
Okay,
But he doesn't.
God is not threatening.
Yeah, but he doesn't exist either. It's not only that he doesn't make threats; he doesn't communicate. There's no evidence of a God. So until such time, there's no God.
There is.
Okay, I've
There is.
never seen God. So for now, there's no God, and I've never seen ethics. So for now, there's no ethics. So everybody can do whatever they want.
God exists.
Okay, I told you already. It's fine. I told you. And by the way, you're lying, right? So you've never seen God. So when you say that God exists,
I saw God.
you're lying.
I can see God. It's clear. It's abundant. It's
Okay,
flourishing.
you've
It's
never
in
seen
front of me.
You've never seen God, so therefore you're lying. You've never seen ethics.
No, I have.
You've never
I haven't seen ethics, but I have seen God.
really. What does he look like?
He
Revelation
looked
14:15.
what?
Never mind, never mind.
Okay, so
What does God
he-
look like? Mhm.
He looks manifold and
I don't know what that means.
omni.
I don't know. You're not describing. Did you have your iPhone ready when he showed up? Did you take a snapshot? Did you make a video?
God is okay. So let
Do you
me put
do you
it
have a
straight.
video? Do you have a video? Did you make a video when you saw God?
Okay, you're very disrespecting. Like you're not allowing me to make my arguments. And I don't know. I'm getting sleepy by the second. I don't know. I think somebody poisoned me. I'll just go away. The fuck did they put in my food? What the fuck? I'm getting sleepy.
Well, all right, Rabbi.
Man, God
Ari-
is merciless. God is merciless.
Did you make a
That's one thing
video?
else.
Can you show me the video that you made when you saw God? It's like evidence or it didn't happen. Video evidence or it didn't happen.
Okay, I'm just gonna show you God. Um,
The what?
God. Okay,
Hmm.
look.
Look where. That's your video evidence that you experience God.
No, not video. No, not video. Just a photo.
Okay, that's not evidence. That's just an AI created this image or something. That's not evidence. Anyway, there's no evidence that there is a God, and what we see here is two men arm wrestling. So
What? No, they're not man. They're Satan and the God.
yeah, okay, that's good. One is bald, one has long hair. They're probably gay. Both are gay. Everybody's gay. Everybody knows that if you have a six pack, you're gay. They're all gay. Everybody here is gay.
Oh yeah.
Yes, a guy. What's up?
Hello.
Hello. What's up? What do you got?
Not
Hmm?
much.
Are you vegan? Schmegan?
No. Are you?
No. Do you hate Israel?
I don't hate Israel, no.
Do you hate Jews?
Do you hate? I don't hate Jews. Do you hate Jews?
No. Do you love Putin?
No, I wouldn't say so.
Hmm. Are you a
Do you
social?
love Putin?
No, I hate Putin. Are you a communist?
No, not exactly.
Are you a socialist?
No, not exactly, but I'm more. I'm maybe a little bit more socialist than many people in here.
Okay.
Maybe.
Okay. So why are you a socialist?
I view. I'm not a socialist. I view the systems as tools
Hmm.
to provide some utility. I don't necessarily see them as like an ideology for basically being like the end all be all system that can be applied for everything. Um, but I think there are things that is good to solve with maybe not socialist system, but something similar, right? Like
So
for example, handicapped people, etc. Like how do you give them stuff?
you
Like
want
how do
me?
they
You want to force me?
live,
You
etc.
do you believe in forcing me to help handicap?
Yes, you have force.
So
Yes,
you
force.
think it's a good thing to force me to
Yeah,
help somebody else?
yeah.
Hmm.
No, it depends on to what extent, of course. Like I'm not gonna uh, make like insane demands from you, but I'm gonna demand a little bit from you
Hmm.
with force,
Hmm.
for which will have a huge benefit for that handicapped person.
Hmm. How do you determine how much to take from me by force and how much to give to the
I mean,
handicapped?
uh, it's very complicated.
Yeah, but what's the answer? Complicated or
The
not?
answer is basically
Mm-hmm.
creating a budget where we decide how much should be given to
Yeah,
certain people
yeah. How do you
and how
decide?
much to take from other people.
Okay, but how do you decide?
Uh, yeah, we decide by. Okay, so I think if you want to decide that, you need to have a political system. And let's take my system, which we have here. Not my system personally, but
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a half decent system at least, maybe not the best.
Mm-hmm.
Multiple parliamentarism. So you gather the parliament and then you vote on the budget,
But at the end,
and
but how do
then
you decide? I don't understand. You decide nilly willy. I don't
the
understand.
the vo- the budget is proposed by the government, which is currently
But how do you? Why?
serving
Okay. But how? Okay. Okay. Okay.
the
But
they decide by basically making
mhm.
incremental adjustment from what is already there,
What's the
uh,
what's the calculation?
and then you.
What's the
Mhm.
calculus? How do you decide? You're not answering the question. How to decide? What's the
Well, you
formula?
want to like have like there is no formula
So how do you
for that.
decide without a? If you don't have a formula, then how do you decide? Well, you need.
Well,
Hmm.
well, there are certain things that we don't have a formula for. We just go by
You're gonna
some
come to me.
intuition.
You're gonna take something from me by force, and if I
Mm.
refuse, you kill me or you put me in jail. And
I
I'm
don't kill
asking
you
you,
for that, but you might go to jail. Yeah.
but if I refuse to go to jail, you're gonna at the end kill me or whatever. You're gonna right. So the
No,
question.
we're gonna put you to jail
Okay.
forcefully.
So the
You can't.
question is,
You
but I'm
cannot.
asking,
You
how do
cannot
you know? Fine, fine.
change that.
Okay, but the question is, how
Yeah.
do you calculate how much to take from me? How do you do the
There
calculation?
is no calculation. There
So,
is a calculation for money, but there is no
so you take,
calculation
so you,
for the decision
so you
making.
take, so like, what's the logic? Where's the logic of how much? Like, you come to me, you take from me.
It's yeah, it's a more it's I guess it's comes down to like a moral system.
What do you mean?
How much are
You can give how much you want, but
mm,
why are you forcing me to give how much you want? It doesn't make any sense.
like how do you value put a number in a how to quantify the value of a old person versus a young person?
Exactly. I don't know. I'm asking you, what's the
I
formula?
don't know. There is no formula for that.
So you
So if you think it must be a formula, then I guess you have a formula, but I don't have that.
no, I'm not the one suggesting to take money by force from me to give to somebody else.
In that's not the problem. I don't disagree with that.
What do you
The
mean?
only problem I have is you require a formula.
No, I am not the one who says to give money. I don't give money to the disabled. To
Miss
the
Slave, are you do you have like a hearing disability?
what?
I asked you,
Hmm.
why do you require a formula?
But I like mm, you could ask me, why do I ask you questions? Why do I want answers to
No,
questions?
I don't want to ask that. This is retarded. I asked you why you require a formula. That's not the only way to do it. So you demand one way to do it over another one. Why do you demand that way? I gave you
What do
a
you mean?
different answer,
What
but
do you
you
mean
didn't
different?
accept it. You said that it must be quantified, else
So
it
how
doesn't.
I'm
I don't
asking,
know
how do you know?
why.
Then how do you know how much to take? How do you know how much to take from me to give to the
The
handicap?
same, the yeah, the if we use ethical system, right?
What do you mean?
And the
What do you
way we
mean?
use it,
What do you mean by ethical system? What do you mean by ethical?
like for example, I'm going to use doctors, right? So doctors have to sometime, let's say you are brought home a heart and then you have to give it to that person or that person. You have to basically allow, by passivity, not kill the person, but by passivity, let that one person die and the other one must survive. You have to, you I mean,
I
if you
don't
want to, we
understand.
could pick, we
I
can
don't
we could
understand.
quantify.
I don't understand what you said about the heart. I didn't understand that.
Yeah, let's say there is a guy there are two people who are sick
Hmm.
and they get a heart back, and
What do
one
you mean heart
person,
back?
let
What do you mean? I
they
don't
sorry,
understand.
one person is sick, he need a heart replacement, for
One
example.
person needs a heart replacement.
Two
Two
people need
people
a
need
heart
heart
replacement.
replacement. Okay, go on.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And then a guy dies,
Mm-hmm.
a different guy dies, and
Okay.
they get that heart, and then they
Okay.
have to put it into one of these two people.
Okay.
How do you decide which of the two people you give it to?
Like everything else, how do you decide if there is one bread in the supermarket and two people come to buy? How do you decide?
Yeah, answer me that.
Like in the supermarket, who like whoever came first buys, or if there's only one house, then you have a bid. Then multiple
That's
people,
one way.
yeah, that's
You could
normal.
do it by, you could pay money, you could pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
You could say the first come, first serve, for
Mm-hmm.
example.
Mm-hmm.
You could say, well, we need to value their potential income into society. Like if the person is young, he will provide more like value
But
to society in terms of money,
you could say,
production wise.
you could
And then an
say,
older guy, then
you
you
could
let the
say,
young people survive.
you could
You could
say,
pick all these systems,
you
but
could,
why do you pick that? Why do you
you
pick
could.
one over the other one?
Okay, hold on. So I'll give you the alternative. So the guy that died, so you could, let's say he left a will, and he wrote in the will, I leave my body for my inheritors to sell the organs. Right? You could do that. And then the inheritors decide, right? They have a bid for the heart. Whoever wants to pay the maximum money for the heart gets the heart. You
That's
know?
one way. That's
Yeah,
one way.
yeah. That's like, but
But
that,
why do you do that over the first come first serve?
I
Why
mean,
do you do that?
it's freedom. Like everybody does it however they want. Like I'm the owner of my organs. I decide what will happen to them after I die. I'm the decider, like with everything else.
It's, well, it's not always that the person who dies get to decide exactly who
That's
the
when I
heart
would.
goes to.
That's when I would. If you ask me, that's what I would
You would
suggest.
do, but
Hmm.
yes, but it's in many cases they don't have a system which decides for them, right? You just tell you just tell
Well,
there is, it's an organ here, and then you could give it away. That's all it says.
yeah, but
When people have organ donor
yeah, well,
cards,
we
that's
don't.
how they do it.
Yeah, because we like in the West, usually we don't allow people to sell their organs or to buy organs.
Yeah,
We only allow like to donate organs. But
yeah.
yeah, but you know.
But you think the
Mhm.
person with the most money deserves to get the heart?
Well, it's not the person with the most money, it's the person who offers the highest bid.
Yeah, highest bid. Yeah, of
Hmm.
course. But like, obviously, that person is not gonna. Oh, it's too expensive. I'd rather die. Like, who does that?
I don't know.
Nobody will do that.
No, it
Yeah,
could
nobody
be.
will do that.
No, no, that's not true. Like a person who is very old might say, I don't want to live anymore. I've had enough.
Well, that might be the case. But like, let's say, but why do you think it's
Hmm.
reasonable to allow the person with, like, if there is a guy who is a
Hmm.
billionaire
Hmm.
paying 2 million for a heart is nothing for him. The
That's
other guy
good.
might even not have that amount of money,
I
right?
don't care.
So
I'm the
that's
owner.
why
I
I
don't
know, but
care.
I
I'm
know,
the owner of
I
my
know.
heart. What do you mean, you know? I'm the. It's not fair. I'm the owner of my heart. When I die, I want my
Yeah,
children to have like the money. My children are very. Like,
yeah.
I have nothing to give them. When I die, I want my organs to be sold for the
Mm,
maximum money, so that my inheritors at least have that.
mm. Okay, so if I were to propose, let's say you think it's reasonable, like you say it's fair,
Yeah.
but I'm
Hmm.
gonna say, are you saying people who are not do not have a lot of money deserve to suffer more than the people who have a lot of money?
Well, that's how, that's life. Like, it's not just about money. Some people are born healthy, some born sick, some people are born tall, some short, some beautiful, some ugly, some smart, some dumb. There's no justice in this
Well,
universe. Some.
it's sorry,
Mhm.
it's not just life. You
Mhm.
made it like that.
What do you mean I made it like that? There's no
by
look, there's no
you
justice.
did so by
Mhm.
saying
Mhm.
you did it by saying
Mhm.
your money is the only currency for your moral worth. You said that. You could
I
also say
I
another
didn't
a
say
different thing. You
moral.
could say
I didn't say
I'm gonna
moral.
forcefully I'm
I didn't say moral. But I said, look, in general.
it's kind of, you're implying that, right, by saying
Mhm.
if you're paying more you can get healthcare,
Look, I'm saying in general,
right?
that's how we live life. That's life.
That's because you decide that, but we don't do that in many societies
But
anyway.
we have discovered
So
that.
why? How can we do it differently? If you say that's life, clearly that's not the case. You can't just say that's life, because life over here, healthcare is free for everybody, regardless of how much you pay or
So
earn.
in
Sorry.
so we discovered that capitalism creates the most wealth. So whenever you have private property, that's when you have the maximum welfare for the country. That's what we
Hmm.
discovered. So
Yes.
I want to privatize instead of like donations. I want to have like actual like a market for organs. If we have a
Hmm.
market for organs, you're going to have uh, a better functioning market, a more efficient
Yeah.
market. The most efficient market
Yeah.
we discovered is a free market. So I want to allow people to do whatever they want. If a person can always donate his organs, but he can say no. I want to sell my organs when I die. It's up to him. Whatever he says,
Hmm.
we do. It's like, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, you can do that, right? But then you're saying at the same time,
Hmm.
like I said earlier, right? You're
Hmm.
saying that the moral worth, not moral worth. I'm not sure what you're saying
Yeah, but
there,
it makes
because I
sense.
said that
But
earlier.
what does it mean to be?
But you're saying but you said just that's life. But I asked you, like,
Hmm. Hmm.
would you think that people do not deserve proper healthcare if they don't have enough money?
Correct. Yes, I agree with that
Okay.
sentiment. Because
Okay.
what is money? Right? Money means that you worked hard, right? You worked hard. So, right? So there's two people on average, let's say. On average, if one has money and one doesn't, that means one worked hard and saved and the other one right didn't work hard and didn't save. Basically, on average, that's what it means.
Well,
on
In
average.
many cases, that's true. In many
There's
cases,
many
that's true.
exceptions. There's many exceptions, but
But
but we want to
if
incentivize.
you but we have the system not for the commonality. We have it for exceptions. Most people aren't
But
handicapped.
we want to
Like welfare isn't for
but what do
everybody,
you
right?
want?
So
What do you want to
how do
incentive?
you deal with your system? How
But
do you
what?
deal with handicapped?
But what do you want to incentivize? Right? You want to incentivize people to work hard and save.
Yes,
So you want to
all yes,
incentivize the
I
free
want that.
market. So good.
But you think it's impossible to incentivize people to work and also provide welfare for handicapped? Do you think those two are incompatible?
I think that the most efficient system, right? If you're incentivizing everyone to work hard and save, you're going to have the wealthiest society. And then you're going to have the maximum to give to the needy. The needy are going to have the best life on average in a free market society, in a society that's based on, free market economics, right? Because you're incentivizing everyone to work hard and save. So there's
Well,
going to be. Mhm,
charity is already possible, but you
mhm.
don't see
What do
rich
you mean?
people solve world hunger, right?
No, but did you
They
hear what
could
I
also
just said?
give. They could
No, but
give.
did you hear?
Yes, you said.
Yeah. So
You said
you
that
have to
if they
respond.
were to maximize, they
No,
would give charity to the
no,
poor
that's
people,
not what I
to
said.
the people who can't.
Not what I said. I said, listen, I said that in a society based on free market principles, you have the maximum incentive to work hard and save. So there's, on average, you're going to have the best economy possible. So on average, there's going to be much more to give to the needy. It's just going to be, in general, on average, a wealthier society. There's going to be more available even for the needy on average.
Yeah, but you're also talking as if though people would give charity then at this point,
Well,
right?
well, that's up to them,
You would rather you. Yeah, I know you're saying that, but we also have rich people are allowed to give
But as soon,
charity.
but
But
as
in
soon,
my country,
but
for
as soon as you
example, but
force,
in my
you're
but in my
destroying,
co- but in,
you're destroying the
yeah,
economy. As soon as you start forcing people, they
I
say,
mean
okay,
you don't, right? You don't do that.
so what do you mean? As soon as,
We have had taxes for like hundreds of years.
no, no, no,
Like
but
society isn't
right, but
destroyed
I'm
yet.
comparing two societies. The freer the society, the more you are incentivizing working hard and saving. So there's going to be more wealth to
Yeah.
spread available.
Well, I mean, you could say that, right? But at the same time,
Hmm.
uh, it's not necessarily that that person wants to be charitable, even if he earns a lot. He might think like you. He might think they deserve their misery.
I don't think that. That's not true. I'm saying that in a
You
free
said that
society.
earlier. They don't deserve
No, I
help.
didn't say
They
that.
don't deserve healthcare.
No,
Said-
no, no, no,
you said that earlier. I
no,
asked you directly. Do you think they deserve poor healthcare or no healthcare? And you said yes.
no. I'm saying what is
I will,
what is
I think I have to record you if you're gonna go back on that. But
no. I'm saying what is money, right? One, right? Who deserves, right? You have two people. One worked hard and saved, and the other one did not work hard, did not save. Who deserves? Of course, the one who deserves is the one that worked hard and saved, on average.
no, that's not what you said.
No.
You said that's not. You're responding to something completely else. You also said
Mhm.
that, but you also I asked you directly, right?
Okay.
I asked you if
Mhm.
the poor people or
Mhm.
handicapped people who might
Mhm.
probably is poor in that kind of system
Mhm.
can't afford healthcare, did they
Not
deserve that? And you said yes.
necessarily. Not necessarily. Someone handicapped could be like very smart and make a lot of money, in stocks, and
Yeah. They
it's not.
might be handicapped and stupid, or they just might be handicapped and
Then
average.
look,
Handicapped and
look.
average.
It doesn't
You don't
make.
have to.
It
Not
doesn't make.
everybody is smart, right?
Yeah, but it's not good for a society to help people who don't contribute to society, right? You want to reward people who give back to society, because then there is more to give. On average, you're just going to have a better functioning economy. There's going to be
Yeah.
more wealth to spread. If you're gonna
But
start,
that's also implying that they are willing to give in the first place.
that's
You are
you
leading.
know,
You are not. You're like that person might
mhm.
be an egoist. He doesn't give a shit, and he might own. 30% of the country's wealth, for example.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah. So
I'm
then you
fine.
said there is more to give, but
Yeah,
they don't give. Then how do it solve the problem?
I don't have a problem. I look in general. I mean, it usually doesn't end up like that. Usually, the wealth gets distributed one way or the other. Statistically, we know how. Right? We know that there is the Boltzmann Maxwell.
Have you looked at the wealth distribution in United States?
It doesn't matter. We know that statistically, the wealth
It
distribution.
doesn't spread.
Okay, so we know that wealth distribution, if you in a purely free market, it should follow the Maxwell Boltzmann distribution. So you're going to have
Maxwell Boltzmann distribution.
Maxwell Boltzmann distribution. It describes the velocity of particles in a gas. It
Why
is.
the fuck would they follow that distribution?
It's.
That has nothing to do with like psychology or economics or anything. What the fuck are you
It
talking about?
assumes free trade, right? So people are free to trade. That's the same as particles in a gas that are bumping against each other and they're trading the momentum.
But if you have nothing to trade, what the fuck can you do? Like
Yeah,
Mr.
some
Slave, you have to.
people.
You're presuming they are wealthy already. What the
Yeah,
fuck?
some people end with zero. Very few people end with zero.
Yeah.
You have some, like at the middle, you have like the bulk of your society, and you have a what we call a long right tail. You could have like extremely, extremely, extremely wealthy individuals. Yeah, that's
So in United States,
it
the
doesn't
top
matter.
1% of the household holds 30%, and
Yeah.
the country's bottom
Mhm.
50% holds 2.6% of
Of
the wealth.
what? What of
That's not
of
that
what?
of
What do you mean by
of the
wealth?
wealth.
What do you mean by wealth?
Money.
So
Money.
money is nothing. Money is an entry in a bank. It doesn't mean anything. Right? Money is just what
We are
society.
talking about economics now.
Yeah, money is just what society owes you. You haven't used it. So
Yeah,
the
but they still have the wealth, right? And you
it
said it's
doesn't mean
gonna
any
spread.
it doesn't mean
It doesn't
anything.
do that,
It
right?
doesn't mean I told you there's going to be a long right tail, but it doesn't mean anything. To have money doesn't mean anything.
But it gets worse.
It
It gets
doesn't
worse every year.
it doesn't
So
mean
it doesn't.
anything. No, it
You
doesn't.
say it's
It
gonna.
doesn't it doesn't
Yes, it
matter.
does.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Look, and it doesn't mean anything.
So,
The fact that the
but Mr.
wealthy.
Slave, you said literally you said that wealth somehow magically makes it so that people will distribute this. But when I show you it doesn't, I don't know the exact reasons why, but for some reason people are not giving away their money. They're holding it.
It doesn't matter. It
They
doesn't
are
matter. It doesn't matter.
investing it
It
themselves
does.
and taking the
It
profit for
doesn't matter.
themselves. They don't give it.
It doesn't matter.
That's
It
it.
doesn't matter.
That's your whole argument.
But what do you mean? It's my
That's
whole.
your whole argument. It's based on this.
What do you mean?
If this doesn't happen, then the whole
I
system
didn't say
falls
it doesn't
apart.
happen. I said it doesn't matter. Money doesn't mean anything. Money is just what society owes you. Like if I have $100 bill and you have $0 bills, what's the difference between us? Like effectively
I mean,
speaking, there's
you
no.
can go to the hospital and get
But what?
some
Okay,
health
okay,
care,
hold on,
and
hold
I
on.
can get nothing.
Okay, okay, hold
That's the
on.
difference.
Okay, hold on. So look,
Yeah, that's how we value the money.
sure, I agree, but you have two people.
Money is
Hold on, hold
money
on,
is healthcare.
hold on,
It's food.
hold
It's
on.
roof over your head. It's
Yeah,
everything.
hold on, hold on. Let's assume you have two individuals. They have everything the same. Same house, same car, same clothes. Everything is identical, except for one of them has $100 bill and the other one doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
So I would argue that there is no difference between them, effectively speaking, right? Their quality of life is identical.
So who can buy food for their family?
But
The
let's
one
say,
with the
but let's say there's
$1 or the
plenty.
one with
But let's say
$100?
there's plenty, right? So in a plentiful economy, there's really no difference between
Plenty what?
what?
Plenty what? You said there
In
is
a
plenty. Plenty
plentiful
what?
in a plentiful economy that produces a lot, so everyone has a lot.
What the fuck are you talking about? They can't. They don't. You don't have anything if you don't have money to buy it.
No. But let's say
What
it's
the
a
fuck are you talking about?
plentiful economy. In a plentiful economy that produces a lot, so everyone has basically what they need. Everyone has a
Now
house.
you flip up from laissez-faire economy, ascribing to that to communism, Mr. Stern.
No,
You
I'm
are
saying
trolled, dude.
no, I'm
The
saying
fuck?
look, giggling, you know that giggling is not an
No,
argument.
but you're saying, I
But
asked
you
you, like,
know,
you're
but you
saying this,
know, but you know
you're
that
using this
giggling,
trickle down
look,
philosophy, right?
giggling,
And then you switch,
giggling,
and then you,
giggling is not
but
an
you're
argument.
saying
But
ridiculous
giggling is
things.
not
Like,
an look. Two things are not an argument. Giggling is not an argument, and steamrolling me is not an argument. So you got to let me speak more, and you got to stop the giggling. Because if you
but can you stop switching your argument every time you open
you
your
can
mouth?
ask me, hey, speak nicely. Look,
Yeah, but you are doing that.
It doesn't.
Yeah,
Okay,
I literally pointed out you
it's
switching
fine,
your
but you
argument
have to be
around
nice. I'm being
many times.
okay. Okay, I'm being cordial. If you're not cordial, then I'll leave the conversation.
Yeah, but it's not. I'm not interested in talking to a person who doesn't like give a
You
shit about
have
what he
to.
says.
No, you have to talk. You have to be nice. You have to be nice. I'm not here to.
I am nice, but
No, you're
I'm
not.
not going to talk to you. I am. I'm not going
No,
to talk to you if you don't
you're
give a shit about what you're saying,
okay. Look,
right?
look.
Is
If
that
you don't feel,
unreasonable?
no, it's
Like you
fine.
don't, if you don't if you're just going to flip flop, you don't really care about what you're saying.
Look, if you
You're just here
feel,
to argue.
look, if you feel that I'm flip flopping, you don't have to be here.
I pointed it out several times.
You look. You
And you just several
steamroll,
times you lied to my face about what you said earlier.
Mr. A guy. You steamroll me. You don't let me speak freely. I let you speak, and you giggle when I speak. So if you feel that
That's because you're flip flopping. I pointed it out what
I'm
you flip flop
sorry.
on.
Okay, look, a guy. If I'm sorry if you feel that way, you can go.
I have to record you if you like I said earlier. I have to record you if you're gonna lie to my
It's
face. I'm not
recorded.
talking to people like that.
It's recorded.
I'm not recording people, but I'm not like.
It's
Do I have to record you?
recorded. It's recorded. Here's the recording. It's all recorded. Here it is.
What?
It's all record. Everything we're saying is being streamed live and recorded. So
No, it's not.
here I gave you the link on the side chat. You can listen to it. So look, if you feel and
Interesting.
what? If
Let
you
me see if all of it is there.
yeah, the whole thing, sure. But look, if you feel that I'm like that
What the fuck?
yeah,
You're actually recording me.
of course. Of course.
How long is it?
It's like an hour, but I don't think that you showed up in the beginning.
Okay. I'm gonna. I'm
What?
I'm gonna show you where you lied to me. Okay.
You can do that later. I'm actually a little hungry. I want to go eat. Look, I'm sorry if you feel that I'm flip flopping. So you can watch the recording.
I pointed it out. You said you said something 5 minutes before, and then
possible.
after that,
It's
and
possible.
then after that. No, but it's like
It's possible.
it's not like a slip up. It's
Look,
like your
it's
whole
fine.
point
You
goes
notice
down the
that you
drain
don't
by
notice. You
changing that.
don't notice. You don't let me talk freely, right? I always let you finish. You hardly ever let me talk. So it could end up that you might feel that I'm flip flopping and all that because you're not letting me speak freely. You gotta like let me speak more. So
What's the point of you speaking if you flip flop your position? I can allow you to speak, but
mhm.
I don't see the point of continuing discussion. I am not gonna argue with you about
But
it
if
you
you
change your
don't
position.
let me speak, it's going to be hard for me to defend my position. So you might feel that I'm flip flopping because you're just not letting me speak enough. So I don't know what to do. Hey, tracks.
Well, it's not that. You basically said that's not true. You said
Okay,
what
fine.
I said was
It
a
might
lie.
be, it might be, it might be, it might even be that I flip flop. It might even be that I contradict it. Everything could be, but okay, but you have to let me speak more and more freely and stop the giggling.
Why? It's pointless. There's
Okay,
no point.
okay. Have
That's
What are you guys
pointless.
even talking about?
It's nothing.
he's a socialist, sort of. I'm a capitalist. So we were trying to have
He's a capitalist and communist at the same time, depending on
he's
which
not,
argument he
as
wants
you
to
can
present.
see, he's not letting me speak. He's like a normal Discord
Yeah.
debater that keeps interrupting me as I speak. And
Yeah, but
sometimes,
you can troll without interrupting people. You know that, Mr.
what do you
Slave.
mean, troll?
Like you did earlier, right? Like you're having a position, and then and then you say something else afterwards when I asked you, like, oh, do you care about this handicapped person? And then you change your position on it, and I said,
I
what do you
explained
mean?
to you
You
the
just said,
problem. I
what do you
explained
mean?
to
I'm
you.
confused.
I
And then I
explained
said,
to
what
you.
do you mean? I'm genuinely
I
confused because you said
explained.
something else.
I
It's
explained to
like
you.
complete
It's
in contradiction with what
possible.
you said
It's
5 minutes ago.
It's possible. I explained to you. It's
And then you
possible.
even okay, and then you even said
But
that you didn't say it, so you just lied to my face, like, and
okay,
that's
but
to
it's
me. I'm not
recorded.
sure if you
But
and you
it's
have done it several.
recorded. It's recorded. What do you
Yes,
mean
and I'm going to
lie?
show you.
How can you?
I can
But
point it out.
what's the point? You're saying I'm lying to your face, but it's recorded, so you can point it out, and
Yeah,
we'll fix
I
it.
am.
So we'll fix it. Show me, and we'll deal with it. I don't know.
I'll okay.
But if
So
you
what will
feel
happen if I showed you that you're lying?
if you feel that I'm bad faith, you shouldn't talk to me. Like, it's fine. Well, I don't know what to tell you. If you feel that I'm lying and that, and then
Lying
maybe.
about what? What do you
So he
think or
says,
know?
I'm a
Yeah, okay.
capitalist. I'm a capitalist, and he's a socialist. So obviously we
Okay.
disagree. That's it. But it becomes an
So what's he
No,
argument.
saying you're lying about?
that's
What's
not
he
the
saying you're
problem.
lying about?
I don't
That's not the
know.
problem, Mr. Slave.
I'm gonna mute you because I can't deal with you. You're not letting me speak. So he says that I'm lying and I'm flip flopping, and but he doesn't let me speak. Like, he keeps interrupting me and steamrolling me and giggling. I'll be back after I'm unmuted. Okay, you can stay wherever you are. So that's it. What's up, Tracks? What do you want to talk about?
So why did he point out that you're capitalist but also a communist?
I don't know. He's impossible to talk to. It's like I'm like I cannot have a conversation with him because he doesn't have a normal conversation. He interrupts me when I talk. He steamrolls. Like, he talks and talks and talks. You cannot inter. You can. I cannot. I can never interrupt him. Basically, he's always interrupting me. When I speak, he giggles. The giggling argument. So I don't know. I honestly, I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to explain to him my position, but it's very difficult. It's very difficult to explain when the other guy doesn't let you speak. Is hogging the mic and is giggling and is accusing you of all different accusations. Yeah, that's the problem. That's the problem. Anyway, anyone here is a vegan? Oh, is anyone here a
No.
vegan? Is anyone here a Putin supporter? Does anyone here hate Israel? Does anyone here hate Jews? Is anyone here a communist? That's it. Does anybody want to debate me on anything? Does anyone have any questions?
I mean, you muted the one guy that was debating you.
Yeah, but he's impossible to talk to. Like I gave, like it's all recorded. You
He
can,
was I mean, he seemed like he was letting you talk when I joined.
yeah, he didn't like a little, yeah, but most of the time it was impossible to talk to him. He's basically impossible to talk to. It's recorded. There's a link to the recording in the side chat. You can watch it and decide. Like I'm not saying that he didn't let me say anything, but there's no point. I don't see the point in talking to someone who, basically is not letting me speak enough, and he's making accusations and then not letting me defend myself. That's the problem. Yeah. So, does anybody have something to say? Absolute autist? What's an autist? What?
What, Mr. Slave? Where are you from?
I'm from Neverland.
Well, I was thinking about possibly debating U.S. politics or.
Yeah. Well, are you pro-Israel or anti-Israel?
Yeah, but I feel like it's somewhat relevant where you're from.
I am. Wait, what? How is it relevant? Why is it important?
Because you're more directly influenced by that particular country if you live in that country, and it can form a lot of your opinions and mindsets based on where you're from. I see no issue with saying the country that you're from. Like, do you think I'm going to go to that country and knock on every door until I find you? Or
Yeah, I
just
don't.
not
I
understand your
don't.
issue?
Like, I'm basically an American. I am a proud American. Americano.
Why are you saying basically?
Basically,
Like,
I'm
do you
an
live in
I'm an
America? Were
American.
you born
I
in
am an
America?
American. I am a proud American. I'm a Trump
Okay.
supporter. American.
Okay, so you live in the United States, I'm assuming.
In general, yes, I am an American as such.
Okay, so what do you
No, I
think
think he's
about the
trying to say he's an
politics?
Israeli.
What do you think about the politics between the U.S. and Canada at the moment? Because I am Canadian.
I think the United States should expand and should take over the planet, not by force, but should ask every country to hold a referendum. And if they want to join as the 51st and 52nd and so on state, then we should have a path to statehood.
This idea seems very unrealistic to me. I'm not saying that Canada would never get annexed, for example, but to say that any country is going to lay it down and flop over, I would say that's very unrealistic.
I'm not saying every, but one at a time. I'm sure there's one country on the planet we can find that would gladly join the United States.
I mean, your only options for that are probably Canada and then maybe Mexico and then maybe Australia. Those are basically your options on that end.
Okay, I mean, I think that every country from which you have mass immigration is a potential candidate. Like I would say India would love to join, Pakistan would love to
Okay,
join.
do you think a majority of of the American people would want India to be America? And do you think the cultures
So
between both
so
the
what
United States and India would mix and merge
so
very well?
what I would recommend, because Americans don't want immigrants, which I don't want any more immigrants. There's too
So,
much
I mean,
immigration.
if India became the 51st state, then they're not immigrants; they're all Americans.
Yeah,
So,
but I didn't
so
say
now you have 2 billion Indians introduced into your
yeah. I
population.
didn't
Does that
say
sound like a good idea to you?
yeah. I didn't say make India a state. I said path to statehood. So like let's have
Okay, so what's at the end of the path?
Well, after 100 years, let's say, India becomes a state. Every 10 years, there is like they go through. Anyway, there is a path. Slowly, they become.
Okay, so that slowly they become a state. So now 20,
Mhm.
30, 40, 50 years down the line, say this hypothetical actually comes true, which
Mhm.
doesn't seem likely, but it actually comes true, and
Mhm.
now India is now a state of the United States. Do
Well,
you think that the massive amount of people in India and the massive difference between culture would be a good idea to merge in with the rest of
No.
America?
Fuck no.
Obviously not. Obviously not.
yeah, I
So
think
that is completely unrealistic.
then this
That would never
right.
happen.
Okay, then the path to statehood will fail. There's going to be tests along the path to statehood that India will have to pass. So their economy would have to become identical to the
The
American.
only viable way you could do that is take them over and not actually make them American. So basically make them a puppet state at that point.
Okay,
Not
that's a
actually
path.
make
Yeah,
them
but
American.
after 100 years, they're going to be a state. Right? There's not going to be a
Do
difference.
you not think culture has anything to do with a country or a society?
But
Like,
you
do you not
see,
believe
but
that?
you see that when Indians come to America, they become just as American as me and you.
Not true.
All right, so guess if you make India a
Mhm.
state of the United States,
Mhm.
okay, they're gonna keep their Indian culture and everything about them the same. It's not like they're all gonna become American. Why do you
Fine.
believe
I
that
don't
they're all
care.
like?
I don't care about what do you mean culture, but they're going to become a state. They're going to abide by the federal law.
Yes, but they would destroy the culture of the country.
What culture? What are you talking about? I
The
don't know what you
culture?
mean.
Do you
Our
understand
our
American
culture.
culture?
I
Yeah,
don't think he
like
does.
you live in America, Americans have their own culture. You can't just introduce this huge, gigantic population with a
Okay, it's
completely different way of life into America.
over 100 years path to statehood. 100 years. It's not tomorrow morning. It's not even 10 years from now. Not even 50. It's 100 years, and right away, India becomes right. All the resources in India are immediately available to the United States. So if you want to move to India, you can. What are you smoking?
A little bit of marijuana.
Wait, so what's the benefit for us having a whole bunch of fucking Pajeets running around shitting in our
You're
streets?
not
What's the
having
benefit?
any Pajeets running around in your streets. They're staying over
Yeah, in
there.
100.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. And for 100 years
Yes.
until they're America, and now
For a
they're running
hundred
around
years,
the streets.
they're not immigrating over, basically.
Why
But
why why 100? Why not
that's
500?
fine. We can even have 1,000. It doesn't matter. They're gonna have to pass tests. So, and the American people are gonna be able to vote at every step to see that they're doing well and they're moving along.
Do you not feel like your argument's a bit of a far reach or quite unrealistic?
Okay, that's not an argument. It's not worth it to stop me mid sentence to ask me. I'm explaining to you when he asked me a question, like what's the benefit for America? So one of the benefits is that you're growing the total American economy. So like the American military now is going to be much bigger. And we're going to have American military bases that the Indians are paying for in India. That's amazing. Like there's so
Okay.
much benefit.
Can,
So
can we
what's
achieve
in
that
it
without?
for India? What's in it for India? Why would India ever even take that deal?
But
That doesn't matter.
the Indians, no,
We're all Americans here.
I'll answer the question. The Indians want to come to America not because of the view, not because of the air, not because they like me and you. It's also, but they want to come because there's a land of opportunity, of economic opportunity. They like the economy. So right away, we're giving them the system. They're going to right away adopt the American system, which includes the
So
economic
basically,
system.
they should be slaves for 50 to 100 years
No, are
until
you a
they're the United
slave? What
States.
do you? You're not a slave. They're
Well,
gonna.
you were so you we would be Americans would be sapping resources and whatever they need from
No.
India, and then India
How?
gets the idea that they
How?
migrate
It's a
into
state.
America.
Are you sapping resources from California? What are you talking about? It's a
It's
state.
not a state. It's not a state
It's
until the 50 years, 100 years are up.
okay. So you can't. Anyway, but even at the end, you cannot sap resources from another state. Every state is independent, relatively speaking. What are you talking about? Who saps resources from states? What are you talking about?
What do you mean? It's not a state until the 50, 100,
It doesn't. But
50,
even
100,
but
1,000-year limit
you
is up.
can't. No, you can't go to India and take stuff from it. Who are you? You can go there and buy stuff. Like these are Americans, or they're on the path to citizenship. They're so quasi Americans. You have to go purchase whatever you want to
For
purchase from
50
them.
years.
100
Wait,
50-year
but why,
path to
why India, dude? Like India's surrounded by Pakistan,
I'm saying
surrounded by like all these
Pakistan.
shithole countries.
Whoever wants to join, you tell them hold a referendum, and if you get 51% votes, here's a copy of the U.S. Constitution. Welcome.
Hey, wait. So they get to vote, not the American people?
Yeah, both. Sure, both vote.
No, it
bro,
shouldn't
they'd
be both.
probably
It
vote
shouldn't
a
be both.
fucking Indian in, bro.
Yeah, it shouldn't be
They're
both.
probably just
bro. Like
they
our
would just
vote
vote
should
in
be
the
like
they would
way
just vote in
more
India,
important.
their own kind, because there's 2 billion of them.
Okay, Trax, let
So they would take over. They would take over America.
Trax, let people speak. Come on, stop. And stop smoking. Like if you keep smoking, it's gonna be difficult to talk to you.
But he's right in a way.
What did he say? I
Like,
don't know what he said.
but they're
What
gonna
do you
take over
mean?
America.
Why
They're
are you
gonna
not
vote.
listening?
They're gonna
Trax,
vote
you're
their
speaking
own
together
representative
with
that looks
Bing.
like
I
them.
can't hear two people at once. Bing, go ahead. Explain what's your point.
He said that well, Trax said that they're gonna vote their own representative. They're gonna vote like nothing but Indians, which is true. You can see that anywhere,
I don't understand.
Right.
especially in Canada.
If they got converted into Americans, they would
Mhm.
just vote in their own people for
What do you mean
president,
vote
since
in?
they're a new state.
What do you mean vote? Oh, you mean
Do you understand? We have the right to vote a president.
it's 100?
Right? So if you made
They're not citizens. Only in 100 years. It's a path.
That's not a good thing. I don't think you understand. Like 100 years is not good, dude. Maybe like
that just means there's
1,000.
gonna be
Fine.
more
1,000 years.
Indians.
A 1,000 years. When
1,000 years, bro.
it doesn't matter. Why do you care? Why do you care?
What would be in it for them?
What do you
to
mean
wait
right away?
1,000
Because
years?
they
They have
want.
to wait how many centuries?
Let me answer.
10
So
centuries.
okay, if you're not gonna let me answer, then don't ask me questions. So what's in it for them? So right, Indians, a lot of them are trying to get into the United States, right? I already explained it. So
After 1,000 years?
what do you
Why
mean?
the fuck would they care?
I don't understand.
1,000 years.
I don't understand.
It's because he wants them to like actually see the benefit. 1,000 years is gonna be too far for Indians. That's why he says 100. Even though 100 is like
It doesn't
just one
matter.
generation, dude.
It doesn't matter. It's I need to make you happy and the Indians happy. Everybody needs to be happy.
No, that's the problem. That's
What
the
do you-
problem. If
what
you're
do
gonna
you
do,
mean?
if you're speaking for
Make
Americans,
it just make
you
it
should not care
500
about
or
Indians.
200 years or something.
We can vote on it every 10 years, whatever. It doesn't matter. If Americans decide tomorrow morning, fine, they've done well enough, they're rich enough, everything is terrific, they cleaned up the streets, they built skyscrapers, their economy is fantastic, everybody dresses nicely, no one is pooping in the streets, they're good enough, done. Fine. You know, we
Okay,
can
so
always.
how would they convert to that?
It's a path. What do you mean convert? What's a convert? You give them a copy of the Constitution. They create a state called India. It's the 51st state. They elect a governor. They create a constitution of India. You know, they do everything and they follow the federal law. So their First Amendment, Second Amendment, everybody is now strapping. You know, the rest of it, they become Americans in India. You know, they can't come to America. We can go there. They cannot come here. But they become Americans in India. You have an American economy. You have a copy of the American economy in India. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be like 10 times the size of the American economy because you have like a billion.
Let me ask you this.
Mm.
What if like a company in the US, like I don't know, let's like name a 500 Fortune company
Tesla.
that's embedded with the government
What do
wants
you
to do
mean?
something that's gonna.
Wait, what do you mean?
Well, my point
embedded
is, what if one of those companies that's embedded with the government
with-
wants
Which
to
one? In bed with the government? Which company is in
in
bed with the government?
like for example, would you agree that Tesla is very, very close connected with the government since they're getting a lot of subsidies and literally in the government? Like Elon Musk is part of the government now. So would
Okay.
you would say that company is very close to the government, right?
No.
So
Let's
what
yeah.
if that company has a difference of opinion with an Indian
Mhm.
company?
Okay.
Who should the federal government have priority over?
What do you mean? It's like today. Like there's plenty of car makers that struggle and Tesla struggles and there's Chinese imports. It's even today. I think there's Indian car makers. There's going to be more Indian. There's going to be even more Indian car makers and laptop makers. Who cares? Why should I? It's whatever. You know, let them fight each other. I don't care. Why do you care?
Okay.
Like it's like
So
today.
like are you in favor of like the federal government taxing the shit out of Indians in order to help out other American states? Like they were.
No, no, it's gonna be a
All right.
state.
Well then it's not good because that's literally what the federal government does. Like California, like helps out at least like 7 different states in the South. You know what I mean?
It's like you
That's,
treat India like California. There's no like the federal government
okay, so
has laws. Like there's
That would
federal
never happen,
laws.
though.
What? What
That would
tracks?
never realistically happen.
Yeah, that's not an argument. Like you make arguments.
Yes,
Don't just
talking about the realism of the argument
That's
should be
not
the
an
point.
argument. You're not stop tracks. You're not arguing. Make an argument. Like, Bing just made an
Like I
argument.
could argue about how a meteorite is going to hit Earth and destroy
That's a
everything.
different topic. We're
That-
discussing like you asked me what I think about Canada, and I said referendum, 51st state, and the same goes for Mexico, Guatemala, India,
So
Pakistan.
I guess this is your opinion on what the government should do.
What Trump should do, like he's gonna do it with Greenland. I would do it with everywhere. Like ask them to pass a referendum, and if you want to join, here is the copy of the Constitution. Welcome. That's what I would do if I were Trump. Like, why stop with Greenland? I mean, Greenland is good, but America should expand. We should take over the planet. Like, everybody wants to come to America, and it doesn't make any sense to bring everyone to America. So let's bring America to everyone. Done.
Well, not everyone wants to go to
Fine. Hold a
America. Not everyone
referendum.
wants to be American.
Fine. I'm not saying one at a time. It's a start the ball rolling. The first one will see that it works out. The next one will,
Why do you think no other countries would intervene with that idea?
What do you mean intervene? It's like every country is free to choose
Like
whatever they
other
want.
countries.
What do you mean?
Right.
Who's going to intervene
So there
with
could be
India's
pushback.
India wants to join the United States. Okay, who's going to intervene? Who's going to stop that?
China.
How are they going to stop it? What do you mean stop it? It's how? How are they going to stop it? What are you talking? It's
They could do a list of things.
like what?
I don't know anything in specific, but they're a powerful nation.
What can they do? What can they can invade and take?
I don't know.
No, you got to give me something. What do you mean you don't know? How are they going to stop? Like they can blow up the universe. Okay, I
Like
can't.
maybe some digital attacks. They could do all sorts of things. I mean,
Fine.
I don't know because China's a very
Okay.
private country and they're also very powerful. So you
Okay,
don't know
look,
what they
I
do.
don't know. Like you got to come up with an actual argument. So I think you're too high to have an argument at this point. It doesn't sound like you're thinking. I'm sorry.
What do you mean?
You're not making any sense. You're not arguing.
I made a very basic statement that China could intervene with the U.S.
Are you the one that I debated once on the economics, on the libertarian and stuff?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agreed with you with bad policy.
No, I don't like that you debate when
Bad
you're.
government
I
policy.
cannot debate with you when you're smoking. You're impossible to talk to. At least you're not giggling all the way. But you're impossible to talk like this. Like you can't always be high. It's like it's terrible.
I'm not usually high.
Well, every time I talk to you, you're getting high, and you're
No,
you're.
I've never gotten high once. This is like literally the only time.
Are you
I've gotten,
16?
like, a
How old
little
are
bit
you?
high. I'm 24.
Did I debate you about libertarianism and about
Yes, and bad government policy.
and
And I agreed with you on that.
were you
but
giggling all the time? Were you the one giggling all the time?
No,
Then I don't know.
no.
Okay, I don't know. Anyway, I'm hungry. I gotta go. I appreciate your input. Are you a friend? You're a
Okay.
friend. We're friends. All right, man. I'm gonna go eat. Thank you. See you later, man.
Okay.
Bye. I'm starving. Jesus, I'm starving. All right, I gotta start fixing this. So what did we debate? We debated we didn't debate veganism. We did debate capitalism versus socialism, and we debated USA taking over the planet, India as the 51st state. We can remove the chilling part. All right, there you go. Okay, everyone. All right, I gotta go. I'm starving. See you later. Bye bye.